Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, March 8th, 2024. This is my pre-market report. Are you watching the 10-year yield? It continues to drop like a freaking rock. Hey, that rhymes. Anyway, 4.07 on the 10-year yield. The dollar is slightly lower this morning. The setup here is pretty incredible, and you know what this means. This is a deliberate effort to continue to prop up the stock market. And you and I, again, called this from months ago, how this would play out, and it's doing exactly what we believed it would do. Now, on the back of that, something else is going on here, and I want to bring this to your attention. So it appears that some very prominent, whatever that means, market bears are turning bullish. That, my friends, is not a good sign for, well, market bulls here. When you see that kind of a sentiment shift, generally it means, all right, keep that in mind, it means that things are probably going to turn bad for the market. However, big freaking however here, when you got this mechanism of cratering bond yields with the 10-year yield, literally, I mean, we were just at over 4.3. Now we're at 4.07. This mechanism is, first of all, it's engineered. This is the Federal Reserve. They're buying more debt. They can't tell you that's what's going on, but that's exactly what is going on here. It's just an incredible thing to keep the market going, to foster the illusion of the market, which is a very, very powerful thing, and you all know that. Anyway, look, so that's the story with that whole thing here. You got cryptocurrencies doing well, Bitcoin around 68,000, trying to make that run towards the new record high. Let's see what happens. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to push Bitcoin above or through resistance. And like I said, we'll keep our eyes on that. Gold and silver catching a bid this morning. Crude oil under a little bit of pressure. Did I mention? I think I did. The U.S. dollar is slightly weaker this morning. Now, a couple of other things are happening. So as you all know, and you and I have covered this to the point of like, it's just ridiculous, but all the nonsense, all the rhetoric, all the talk about the Federal Reserve being, data dependent, it's all fake. The Fed is on a fixed path to cut rates here. We heard from the European Central Bank, La Gargoyle, yesterday. You remember this here? The post-market wrap-up. I explained to you. This is what's going on. Now, it seems that Powell, thing creature vomitous mass that he is, I'm talking about, Federal Reserve chair over here, he's switching around his tune. Now, after this, I always told you, these institutions, they work in tandem. This is what he had to say. Now, Powell says the Fed is not far from the point of cutting interest rates because they're on a fixed path. If you recall, this guy and a couple of other Federal Reserve presidents they're playing the game that they always do. The back and forth. Yes, maybe no, no, maybe yes. It's a game. They play this game over and over and over again to try to convince you that they're not on a fixed path. They're absolutely on a fixed path because you know what's going on here. They've already destroyed the economy and we haven't seen anything yet. They've got the consumer by the throat and we haven't seen anything yet. Now they have to coordinate these central banks to inflate even further. Hey, speaking about inflating, what do you guys and girls, what's your take on this? So the United States, are now building a so-called shipping port in Gaza to provide aid. What do you think is really going on here? So we're building a port now. I didn't vote for that. God knows how much that would cost. To build a shipping port in Gaza to provide aid. Something else is going on over there. You tell me what you think, okay? Anyway, that's kind of the story this morning, people. Oh, no, there's something else big, huge. Now, what do you think about this? You and I already understand that we have zero, one more time, are you ready? Zero representation. Our so-called members of Congress, they work for the banks. They work for the Federal Reserve. So this is a Yahoo Finance. Check out this headline. What do you think of this? So big banks are getting what they want from Washington. Imagine my shock. What am I talking about here? Okay, what are they talking about here? So as we already know, we have a zero capital reserve system. You do realize that, right? These banks don't have to hold any cash in reserve. No buffer. Even in the face of what is going on now with the banks, they're all freaking cratering, as we know. We called this before anybody else. So it appears that our loving, caring representatives don't care enough to have the major banks hold any buffers. So basically, they can take every penny of cash that you deposit in these institutions and lend it out. And they can do whatever they want with it. They can make bad bets for which you're going to bail them out again. Imagine my shock. So does this prove to you, again, maybe, that we have no representation anymore? What do you think about this? You think this is okay? Something tells me that you're starting to maybe understand what's going on. Do you believe? Let's just go back to this for a moment. Okay. Do you believe that there's maybe one of our so-called representatives who understand the banking system, who realize how it really works and what's going on? Or do you think they really all do understand it, and henceforth why they're making sure that the major banks here are going to be taken care of in any way, shape, or form here? Of course, look, I hear from all of you, a lot of you, all the time here. And I know there's more than one YouTube blog talking about this month here, there's going to be a major issue with the banks. They're going to lose their lifeline. It's a joke. Who's ever telling you that is selling you a lie. There is no way on this earth, off this earth, or anywhere in between that the major institutions are not going to get their lifeline from Washington, from the Federal Reserve, and wherever else. This charade, this scam is going to go on and on and on. And we, you and me, as we always are going to get stuck with the bill. Do you think it's fair that these institutions don't have to hold any capital reserves? Zero? Do you think that's good here? And while we're watching this regional bank issue get even worse? I don't think so. I believe you and I are more than likely on the same page here. But this is, again, people, do you think this is the United States of America anymore? This is the United States of corporate America, for which every single one of our loving, caring representatives represent them. They don't represent you at all. And it's not going to change. It's just the way it's going to go. Anyway, people, look. So what does this come down to for you and me? If we understand how toxic, how sick, and twisted the system is, what are we going to do about it? We're going to try to sidestep this, okay, by betting against the debt, becoming our own central bank, something we have been doing, you and me, since day one here. It's not going, I know there's all these haters out here. I hate gold and silver. I don't like it. These people are imbeciles of the highest possible order. What do they want to do? They want to hold dollars? I don't know. Look, you got to be nuts. You have to be taking the opposite side of this trade. That is, hold real assets, things that have proven to be real money for thousands of years. Look, this is such a simple scenario to understand here. If we realize, you and me, that things like this are not going to stop, okay, that the Federal Reserve is coordinating with gargoyles, okay, to kill the current system, to bring in a new one here. What do you want to do? What should we be doing? It's a no-brainer here. If we realize that this hyper bubble in debt, and this is an understatement of in history here, is eventually going to burst. And it's going to burst by design because it's being set up that way as global debts are skyrocketing at their fastest pace we've ever seen. No one has even envisioned anything like this before. Debt bubble is going to pop. The debt bubble is eventually going to burst, and you all know that. That's going to put a massive amount of pressure on global stock markets, which are going to sell off so fast, people aren't going to know what to do with themselves here. And cash is just going to move from one reality into another. It's going to move from debt. It's going to bleed out of the debt market, bleed out of the stock market, make its way into commodities. And, of course, I believe cryptocurrencies. I also believe in collectibles. I also believe artwork, musical instruments, classic cars, all this kind of stuff. It's just gonna be a whole new setup here. That's where it's gonna go here. But you got people again who, I mean, look, I did not listen to the Creature's speech last night, the state of the, I didn't listen to it. I won't listen to it. I don't care what comes out of its mouth, because I refuse to be lied to here. But I'm going to tell you something here as well. People, as always, are putting their faith in Donald Trump's going to save us all. He's a man god. This man god fixation is pretty insane. No, he doesn't work for you either. You may think he does, and that's where you're putting your hope, because you have no other alternative here. Believe in yourself, okay, and take action, because he ain't taking no action for you. No one's taking any action for you. You got to do it yourself. Anyway, people, look, that's it. I'm gonna end this video now. Hope you got something out of this here. This guy here loves you a lot, and I mean that from the heart. I hope you see what's going on here. Do you see what's happening finally, or are you just still lost in la la land somewhere? Because that's where they want to keep you, deluded, distracted, and deceived. That's what this is all about. Anyway, look, love you a lot. I will see you later, 4:05 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. I hope to see you there. We're gonna have obviously more stuff to talk about then too. Okay, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See you later.